so I'm going to be playing Fade in the background as usual, but I'd like to talk about a series I've been meaning to talk about for a little while, which is Renai Lobster. It seems like a typical harem anime, but it's actually quite an emotional story. You wouldn't be able to tell just by watching it, just by looking at it. And watching the first few episodes does no justice to it. You have the main character using a futuristic town where AI is so often used, and he is kind of forced into using the AI in the dumbest ways, but he goes to school one day and figures out, oh, his father has assigned him a bunch of brides, and he must marry one of them. But one of the so-called brides is the father of the main character describes as a boy, but after the first few episodes we find out that's not true, and that what we knew her as is Ilya was also kind of forced through her father's wishes to grow up like a boy because he didn't get one. And eventually we figure out that the whole entire thing is just a simulation that the main character agreed to, and a lot of terrible things keep happening, along with just a bunch of trauma that happens, like the main character remembering his past, like how he used to have a childhood friend he fell in love with, but she passed away due to a fatal illness. He never got to actually go through with the promise he made, and he figures out that all of those are also, all of his potential brides are just AI, and they are not really real, so he's trying to figure out why and how to get over his past trauma of his childhood friend dying, and it just it changes a lot, such as most of the scenes being somewhat action related and a whole bunch of questionable jokes, but it's also both a emotional roller coaster and a pretty interesting analysis of what can happen if a promise is unfulfilled, along with the feelings of others when they don't really have a chance to get their wishes to become true, such as he wished with was to watch the cherry blossoms fall, but I passed away before it could even happen. And nobody wanted to really help. So the AI was invaded by her as soon as she gained sentience inside one of the characters. And it just is very, very shocking through the second half. I'd say it is not one of the easiest to sit through in most circumstances, just because of how the characters are put into very, very messed up situations. Like, there's one where the main character is kidnapped and tied up, used as bait to get the teacher to fall into a trap set by the bad guys, which is not very good of an idea, because she kind of does anyways. She likes that idea. Then eventually there's a bunch of blood as expected. And there's that one animal companion you always see in the that are giving magic powers, but magic is fueled by a very, very funny thing. Otherwise, I'd say it's also very, very confusing if you're trying to watch it blindly, which I really recommend you should have before watching this video. But the actual ending is kind of bittersweet due to him finally accepting everything as it is, the scientist that's been helping him out after he left the simulation, actually making the AI robots real, and they are allowed to live in his house. But the main thing about the AI robots is that they will act pretty much the same as they used to, but they're actually going to live in his house for real, and he has to actually tend to what he used to do still, though it just cuts out before he even sees the last one, which is the first character who confesses her love. And it's just a very confusing thing to have overall. I'd say that it's kind of a must-watch for anyone who's willing to sit through many tropes. And it's really emotional. I barely could watch past the 11th episode because I couldn't see. It was just hit way harder than anything else I've really watched, due to just how each character is actually given a lot of attention, unlike most harem anime. And I'd say it's probably one of the best I've seen in quite a while, to be honest. Which is saying a lot, but also not very much at the same time, because I don't really watch a lot anymore. And the different versions only really affect one scene in the entire anime. The censored version just censors the hot spring episode, which is the one where you figure out that Irina is Irina, and well, Ilya is Irina. But there's also the uncensored version doesn't change anything. I mean, there's that one episode where they get the vacation at the beach house, but that one is very, very censored still by mysterious sunbeams, which are very, very dumb. It's like having a sunbeam in a completely black room, or having steam in a room that has nothing that can be steaming. I'd say that it's just worth a watch. Give it a chance if you can. If not, then I don't really care. I'm just talking about this because I've been putting it off for a while, and I've talked about it due to just how much it's changed my perspective on some things, especially just how different, how much more different life can be if you're unable to remember a lot of things. You are in a simulation, and it feels like it's been so long. You've lived there your entire life. But also figuring out that everything you knew was also fake, while still trying to remember your previous real life. And the bittersweet ending of the simulation, where all of the characters sacrifice themselves to make sure that the main character can escape. And I'd say the main part that was great was how they pulled off such an emotional whiplash, but it also is pretty funny how each character is from a different place, and they each has their weaknesses. Like you have Ilya or Irina, who is a Bulgarian. You have the teacher, who is Mao, I think, and she is Chinese. You have a few others I don't really remember. I know that the character, the AI, she is Japanese, I think. Otherwise, I'm not gonna look up right now. I don't even know why I brought this up, but might as well just end it here.